Over 1,000 years ago, the Vikings set out in search of new land, and what they would find was a harsh, living island full of ice, fire, mystery, and really expensive everything. That island is Iceland. Just about every traveler has this mystical place on their bucket list, and it was finally time for me to check it off mine. So, with the help of local guides, reading countless blogs, I had everything I needed to discover the essence of this island. But there was one last thing I needed, and that was a crew of adventurous souls. These are the people just crazy enough to give up their sleep for the next 2 weeks as we expedition alien-like terrains. Take it from me, if you can afford it, this is your next trip. Let me show you how to travel Iceland. I'm going to show you the most unbelievable 7 to 10 day itinerary across Iceland as we go from the southwestern city of Reykjavik all the way to the northeast. And I'll even show you how you can take a ferry to the next country from here.
Day 1. Adventure begins.
Our trip starts where yours will too. The Reykjavik airport, just 1 hour south from the capital of Reykjavik.
Gosh, it smells like sulfur everywhere, including my shower.
That is Christian, but with a K and from Norway. And also joining us,
my sister, Bridget!
A trip to Iceland starts the very moment you walk out from the airport. The earth is cracked and looks extraterrestrial. 30 minutes from the airport, you're deep in the action. We are just at the start of this trip and it's just like I'm driving on a different planet. I have not seen landscapes like this. It's a combination of Mordor meets Rainbow Road.
We're trying to get to our first stop, 15 minutes out of Reykjavik, and we're already taking like an hour because we're just so mesmerized and fascinated with all the surroundings.
There is so much life inside this island. I mean, it's literally forcing its way out of the earth. This video will be the best guide you can find on Iceland, but there's one thing I cannot promise, and that is pronouncing things right. Ruby, where are we?
Gulliver, I think.
A little later that evening.
All right, guess what we're doing? We are here at a spa.
But not just any spa, this is a man-made hot bath, but with heat that comes from under the earth. The geothermal activity in Iceland is through the roof, and the heat was way too good on this particularly windy day. But we signed up for a 7-step ritual. Step 1 was being here and warm. Step 2 was leaving that warmth. All good things must come to an end. Woo! Where are you going? Where are you going? I'm coming with you. I hate cold plunges. Step 3 was this stunning oceanfront sauna, followed by the rest of the steps, which were basically cold mist shower, body scrub, steam room, and back out you go to catch an epic sunset and end your day with... All right, before we leave Reykjavik, there's one last thing we had to come try. Thank you. Ooh.
Remember earlier when I said that the best way to end the day was an amazing sunset? I lied. The best way to end your day is with Icelandic ice cream.
I just got the bill. $10 each. That night, we slept in Reykjavik. Or at least we tried. Sleeping right next to the Drunk Rabbit on a Friday was a bold move. But the morning was a fresh start, and we took a day to really get to know Reykjavik.
Day 2. Exploring Reykjavik.
Now, Iceland is known for a lot of things, but it's not known for its architecture. But one exception might just be this building here. This is one of the crown jewels of Reykjavik.
Welcome to Hallgrímskirkja.
And this right here is a church, and it's actually inspired by the nature of Iceland. Kind of looks like an upside down icicle, but it actually looks a lot more like somewhere that we're going to be taking you very soon. I'll show you when we take off on the road trip. Once upon a time, this capital city was a small fishing village, and today, well, it's kind of still a small fishing village. But let me just say, there's some super cool restaurants and some surprisingly amazing food. But I gotta give you a massive price warning. It's almost impossible to eat for under $30 a person.
We have some specials today, and what I see on the menu is puffin and whale and horse, and now I'm sad. I love puffins.
This burger at a pub was awesome, but I think it was literally 30 bucks. Seemed kind of cheap compared to the lamb, which was $60. Right next door, we tried the famous hot dog that everyone on TikTok's been raving about. And let me just say, don't trust a TikToker.
Literally, teenage me playing Xbox made better hot dogs.
Good night, Reykjavik. We'll catch you in the morning.
Day 3, swimming in between tectonic plates.
The road trip begins.
Good morning, everybody. We're starting off this morning with some really crazy activity. Like, you'll never guess. I didn't even know this was a thing. I'm so excited to be doing it, but also not so excited at the same time. You'll see why.
Here's your undersuit.
Where are we
Please
going?
put it on.
What are we doing?
You're going to change right now,
Okay.
first of all.
Yeah.
Just keep one base layer under this.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And then I'll give you the dry suit after.
So don't pee in this.
Neither.
Okay.
Neither. Don't pee in neither of the suits.
Not
please.
recommended.
If you want to buy it, then you can pee in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. This is gonna be crazy.
I can't believe this. My lips are already blue.
Wrong hole. we've all been there before.
Just take it. Look up. Look at the sky.
She's born again.
Just to avoid any awkward eye contact while I choke.
You look like a discount superhero. Ready? Yeah.
The safe word is Eyjafjallajökull.
What is Eyjafjallajökull?
Reykjavik needs me.
We're about to go snorkel between two tectonic plates in glacier water that is 3 degrees.
So apparently what's going on between these two rocks has been causing natural disasters and more recently caused 4,000 people to evacuate their homes here in Iceland. Today, we're gonna go find out what's going on inside there. This is Silfra, and it's been measured as some of the clearest water on the planet. But most of all, it's an up-close and personal way to understand why Iceland is one of the most beautiful and chaotic places on the planet. The sliding, colliding, and dividing of these plates makes these beautiful alien-like landscapes, but it's also why the entire island is kind of a danger zone. Just the other day, the pressure and energy stored in these plates allowed magma to fire out, putting an entire neighborhood into Mayday. Everybody fled their homes, and one home sadly got engulfed by the magma. Volcanoes destroy, but they also create, and they have created some of the most beautiful scenes here in Iceland. This thing hasn't missed a beat through all the elements and through all the adventures. The Insta360 X4 is the latest in 360 technology, and this thing is a powerhouse. I've been shooting 8K 30 frames per second, getting this beautiful 360 image, which means I can hit the record button and in the edit decide which way I want the camera shot to face. It means I can be way more in the moment, less involved in framing. And the mobile app is so easy to use, so you can do all the editing using your phone. But most of all, it allows me to get so many creative angles and compositions which complement my usual footage in such a fun way. The camera body is waterproof, it's just as rugged as these Icelandic landscapes, so it can keep up with you wherever you go, and I've really enjoyed shooting in the 5.7K at 60 frames per second, which allows me to get that half-speed slow motion to really bring you into the moment. Definitely get yourself an Insta360 X4, it's going to take your trip and your shots to the next level, and it's just linked down below.
That's a lot colder than it was.
I know we're just at the start of Iceland, but you're gonna have to mark that one on your bucket list. That was awesome.
Chris, it may have been cold out there, but our friendship kept me warm the whole way through.
Oh my god. I'm so glad.
You gotta ask for Chris. So Iceland can be guided, it can be unguided, and our goal is to do something in between, where we're basically driving ourselves around, but also pairing up with the right tour operators to get the best. And today, Arctic Adventures has shown us one of the most outstanding and funny and awesome experiences I've had in a long time. But back on the road we get. So we joined a cult.
No, we
The
did
cult
not.
of rye. We're gonna go make bread.
Correction. We're on our way to make some geothermal bread, which means it's made the Viking way.
Step 1, dig. Step 2, LR. Step 3, take credit for someone else's work. Step 4, bury your bread.
So, after 24 hours underground, you get some of the best smelling bread you've ever smelled. It's called rye bread, and it's actually from the Danes. Danes occupied Iceland. To this day, it's still a sore spot apparently. But they did bring one great thing to Iceland. It's this beautiful formula of bread with brown sugar and cream and a lot of butter. And now the best part, let's go eat it.
Step 6, eat the food.
I love it. It is so perfectly soft and moist.
The bread is like dessert bread. It's so good.
I think it was fun.
It's fun. Every trip to Iceland is going to have a visit to the Golden Circle. This is the central road inside the island that brings you to a few very crazy spots.
The 4 most popular things to see here are Thingvellir National Park, where we swam in the morning. Just a short drive away, you got Geyser. You don't want to stand too close. Or do.
He just got soaked by the geyser. Was that hot water?
No, it was cold, but I'm like gonna smell like salt.
From there, you got the powerful Gullfoss waterfall. It's said a rich Viking had buried much of their treasure under the falls so that nobody else could have it. And on your way back, you got Carrid Crater. It's a pretty big hole.
And during this part of our trip, we have stayed here at this place called Greenhouse Hotel. And it's a really nice boutique hotel with breakfast included. There's a bunch of food options right next door, and it gets you right in the heart of all the action around here. Definitely would recommend checking this place out.
Day 4, the Blue Lagoon.
Today is a fun adventure. We are on our way to the very famous Blue Lagoon, but we just stopped on the side of the road again because we are seeing fresh, new hardened lava rock. We were just driving and you can just see where the lava stopped and burnt everything.
What I think is so cool about it is you can actually see the way this whole island has been made over thousands and thousands of years. Basically, the formation of the newest parts of Iceland happened right here, just in March, 2 months ago.
How cold is it right now?
It's insane.
This is summer.
But we chose the right day to warm up. All right, it is time to unload yet again.
We've just checked into our hotel, the Silica Hotel. What was it that you had to inform me
Yes, so
about?
basically we are expecting, so we are located in the seismic activity area, so we are expecting for a volcanic eruption at any moment. It could happen somewhere in the area. In case if it's going to happen, we need to evacuate. It's going to be an alarm. Meeting point is going to be right here.
That's so cool.
Erection! Yes, no! Eruption!
So we just asked how much a taxi would be to send Christian and Ruby's sister back to a different hotel. Turns out, because it's a holiday, today in Iceland it would be $400 for a 1-hour taxi ride. You gotta be so careful when you're traveling Iceland to have your things set up correctly, otherwise you will find yourself having one of the most expensive trips you could ever imagine. Wow, this is pretty cool. The room, very simple but also cozy, but the appeal, it's what you're facing. These rooms are literally built into the old volcanic land.
It's so crazy getting to be by volcanic lava rocks with moss and having all this smoke and this moodiness. Such a cool experience.
Now the Blue Lagoon is maybe one of the world's most coveted Instagram spots. I mean, it's literal goals on most days. But today was not that day. We got this.
We're not gonna make it!
Oh my god, please tell me it's hot in there. We got hit with a literal windstorm the day we arrived, but the water was still warm and we had fun. So I probably spent a few hours researching, reading blogs, and getting all the pins, putting them together in my map, and I don't want you to have to do that when I can just share it with you. Hope it helps. Take a look at the link down below. It's all yours, my gift. Enjoy it. After a very beautiful and crazy experience out there, welcome to Lava Restaurant. Lava is basically, it's like having a restaurant inside of a volcano. Food arrived in front of the most iconic view. Yum, yum, and yum. On our way out from Lava, we took a look at The Retreat, which is a 5-star hotel just connected next door. Pretty stunning stuff, but I heard it's around $1,800 a night. Oh, Iceland, you ain't cheap. If you're coming to Iceland, you're probably gonna be stuck choosing between Skye and Blue Lagoon. Personally, I think I enjoyed Skye a little bit more. The changing area is much nicer and was a lot cleaner when we went. But if you wanna wake up to your own private lagoon, then let me show you what Silica had for us.
Day 5. The sunshine after the storm.
Yesterday didn't exactly get the day we were looking for, but every day is a new day, and opening the door up onto the lagoon, not only because of the weather, but also because this area here is exclusive for Silica. It is a very intimate experience, and I know it comes at a cost, $700 a night, but an amazing place. So you might be thinking to yourself, Christian, I've never seen this water out in the wild. What the heck's going on here? There's a power plant right over there. Iceland's one of the most green countries in terms of their electricity production because they get so much of it from geothermal activity. And because it comes from that hot underground, you're left with this insane experience. It's been a nice little stop here on the moon, but I got something else to show you. So, this morning we're doing something pretty crazy, and we might be just doing it a few minutes too early because today there has been 19 earthquakes in the last 4 hours. Very small ones, we haven't felt them, but they're going on. Tons of seismic activity, and there has never been more pressure buildup recorded apparently in one of the current areas which we're about to fly over top of. We might, fingers crossed, literally have a volcanic eruption mid-flight. One just came through. No, I'm serious. There's black smoke coming up. Guys, there's an eruption happening right now. Black smoke. This was all clear a second ago. That wasn't black a second ago.
This wasn't black.
Are you kidding me? As I was saying, let's get the chopper ready. From the moment we took off, there was so much to see. From dried up lava stone to this tiny little island with a red house on it, which, by the way, that's the president's house. As we made our way further south, we passed by the Blue Hole. This is the city of Reykjavik, and it's the latest casualty in the Icelandic volcanic eruptions. Cracks forming in the roads, a home that was engulfed in magma. Literally only one went up in flames. That's kind of bad luck. But this is Iceland. And we flew over these incredible craters. This extremely beautiful one was actually the center of action in 2021 when there was a super active volcano eruption here. This landscape is one of a kind, and as we made our way back, we were greeted by a circular rainbow. I didn't know this existed. So what happened to the volcanic eruption I saw on the live camera? Well, it turns out clouds passing over a 360p live stream look a lot like a volcanic eruption. That was a false alarm. But just 5 days later, the latest eruption did indeed go off. The regularity of eruptions that's currently going on in Iceland hasn't been seen in over 100 years. So hopefully when you visit, you get to see it for yourself.
That was awesome.
One of Iceland's wonders. You gotta fly with Gunnar. With Atlandsflug.
Atlandsflug the best.
Yeah. At $500 a person, it ain't cheap, but what an experience. It was finally time to make our way east. So we got driving and got to this truly insane place right at nightfall. Let me show you where we slept last night. Love me, This is one of the coolest places I've ever slept. So this dome is basically surrounded by all these pine trees, and you can actually see the way they like dance in the wind. I can hear the sound of birds. You're waking up to this beautiful mountain line. Not gonna lie, I've slept in some cool places that were not actually the best sleep. Last night was an awesome sleep.
No, seriously, it was like cozy and warm, and the beds were so comfy.
And in the winter, you are getting potentially a shot at seeing the northern lights. Like, can you imagine looking up from your bed? And I think I need to come back here in the winter. You're gonna hear me saying this a lot on this trip, but you're not gonna believe where we're going next. There's no sleepers on this itinerary.
1.5 hours later, we drove to the very south of Iceland, a place famous for black sand beaches, including this one that has a downed airplane. Hiking here takes about an hour and a half each way, but just a short drive away is the famous Reynisfjara. For any Icelandic people watching, I hope you're having a good laugh. Now, do you see any similarities?
So this is Iceland for you. You're driving, and you see something that is like a 10 out of 10. And I'm not just talking about her. You might come here with a set itinerary, but the truth is, some places are better off left with a little bit of flexibility to go explore, to see what comes your way, because there's so much. You'll be driving on a stretch of road, and there'll be a waterfall, a valley, a mountain, a volcanic geyser. This island is pure beauty everywhere you look. But one of those spots that you'll definitely want to check out is right here. I love this thing. Nice pull.
Yes, the best.
The best. You gotta admire a man when he's got a nice pull. Hang on.
We were soaring. I mean, this trip had us feeling like kids again. But little did we know that the highlight of today was just around the corner, and it wasn't a waterfall or a view. It was a very mysterious man.
Wow. This destination is not a place, but a person.
Day 6, the fantastic Mr. Iceland.
This is Mr. Iceland.
Yes, I am.
How does one get the title Mr. Iceland?
Well, you have to work for it.
Yeah, I don't think they just hand that out.
It's one thing to be alive, and it's another to be living. And after swapping stories with Hodor, it was very clear he had lived 100 lives, and his past life was a banker. In fact, he built a bank. But after closing that chapter and selling the business, he moved back to his motherland of Iceland to raise horses on his own farm.
My lamb, potatoes from across the river here.
Oh wow.
So it's very low. So this is the old house. This is where you guys are going to be staying.
Amazing.
Oh wow, this is so cozy.
Yeah, this
This is
so
dreamy.
warm.
So this is the old house converted into this really beautiful boutique hotel. You can feel the stories that have been lived in here. This is the oldest concrete house in...
So it's built in 1917.
Wow.
Wow.
That's very
So it's over 100 years old.
I'm just confused. Where's the horse sleeping? In that bed or...?
They are. So then you have your bed here, and the horses,
They come visit.
they come visit.
Wow. And what do they come visit for? Food?
They're
Attention?
curious.
Love?
No, just, yeah, exactly. Love and attention.
Okay.
Like we all need.
Yeah. All right. We're checked in. And now we're meeting some of the locals. What's your name?
Over the years, Mr. Iceland has become a masterful trainer of horses, a horse whisperer of sort. And when you get the opportunity to learn from a master, you take it.
The Icelandic horse is considered to be one of the 2 oldest horse breeds in the world. You have the Mongolian horse being one of them, and then you have the Icelandic horse being the other. The roughness of the Icelandic elements, the wind, the rain, the storms, the highlands, the lava, what have you, creates this very sort of level-headed horse.
He told us that if we showed enough confidence and skill, he would take us on a serious adventure to a remote region of Iceland that few have ever been to. Ruby and I became his apprentices in that very moment.
All right, we just went through level 1 training. We have learned through Mr. Iceland that these beautiful horses, despite being physically dominant over any human, they're actually looking for a leader. And so that is our mission today, is to give the instruction, the confidence and the calm to these horses so that they take us where we want to go. You guys have matching hair?
Yeah. Eyjólfur.
So Ruby got the gentle, sensitive one. I'm getting the wild stallion. So we didn't know this when we got here, but something very special is happening today. Twice a year, these horses will go from one farm to the other. From the winter farm to, in this case, moving over to the brand new pastures, the summer farm. And with that, it's a very exciting time. It's gonna be a fun one today.
We've sat on horses, but we've never truly ridden a horse until today. Mr. Iceland taught us how, using our body and energy, we can communicate with the horses so that the use of the reins becomes secondary.
Constant focus on you.
I love learning, and that 1 hour inside the stable with Mr. Iceland was truly a top-tier moment in my life.
Then we're gonna have the traditional black belt.
Great.
This is the graduation ceremony. We've passed with flying colors, and now things got real.
Now we're getting our capes.
He said you're gonna need summer school, but
Oh, shush.
So then sometimes, you know, you need some encouragement. You need some bravery. Scout
to Iceland.
That's nice.
Yeah, well, you don't have to throw them back.
Oh, we're not that classy.
We're American, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
we're not as sophisticated as you.
We're North American.
Long live the Jedi! Horses are wild spirits. To control them, they need to sense your leadership. It was time to see if our training had truly prepared us for this challenge ahead. Riding with Mr. Iceland will forever be one of the most exhilarating moments of my life. It was like the feeling I first had when I was a young boy taking my training wheels off my bike. I can now truly say I can ride a horse. But the greatest challenge was just ahead. We walked for over an hour deep into this remote black sand beach until we could no longer. We got a true Iceland sunset, and it was time to make our way back. But this time we were going to try a shortcut by crossing a nearby river. But Mr. Iceland warned us, these lands can be dangerous, and with the right mixture, it can become quicksand. Even the horses knew. One broken leg and it would all be over for them. Slowly moving forward, step by step, until my horse dropped like the ground had been taken from underneath him. It happened so fast, but I quickly jumped off, grabbed the reins, and carefully walked him back to sturdy ground. It was at that moment that I felt I hadn't just removed the training wheels, but I was truly one with this four-legged creature. This land is harsh and unforgiving, but to so many, this adventurous terrain is home.
This experience is second to none. We just parked the horses. Is that the right term? Parked? And inside of here, Mr. Iceland, what's on the menu tonight?
On the menu we have a leg of lamb from a farm, obviously. We have some potatoes from Iceland's biggest potato farm across the river here. And then we have some salad, cucumbers and tomato, rounded up with Icelandic mushroom gravy.
You booking your tickets to Iceland?
Hey, this is Delta. This is my new best friend. She follows the horses everywhere they go, and it's incredible because I think that she's gonna get stepped on, but she's not. She just weaves in between the horses.
She has been stepped on, so it doesn't happen again.
Okay, so never mind.
So this entire meal comes from within a 15-mile radius. Mr. Iceland was just saying to us that he actually was the one that brought these lambs from the pasture so kindly to our place.
Skål.
Skål.
That evening, Mr. Iceland shared with us countless tales of great Vikings. I couldn't help but think they must have been his distant relatives.
Day 7. Snowmobiling, skur.
In the morning, we were exhausted, but it was all made easier by being woken up by this four-legged friend. We packed our bags, said our goodbyes, and Mr. Iceland even gave us a little gift to remember this experience by. This stunning, traditional Icelandic wool sweater. I mean, come on, what an experience. On our way out, we passed by the almighty Skogafoss waterfall, just off the side of the highway. This island has so much to offer, and I can't wait to show you the biggest travel hack and discovery of this entire video once we make it to the very end of this road trip. but not without making our 18th stop of the day.
We just pulled over on the side of the road because we saw the most magnificent scene of all time. These beautiful, beautiful Icelandic horses just laying flat on the ground. One of the things Mr. Iceland told us was that it's actually very unusual to see horses doing that, fully laying like they're dead. It's actually because they have no predators here and feel so safe and so calm. Wow. Now that's a ride.
Back on the road with Arctic adventures. I had to feed my Neopet, so I quickly got out my computer before we lost internet.
So there's four-wheel drive, and then there's moon terrestrial drive, and this is a different kind of road. You would not get up here without this souped-up vehicle. We're right now deep into a glacier, swaying side to side, splashing through massive puddles. I mean, it's crazy.
We're getting suited up, but like serious suited up right now. As you can see, I look like one of those traffic cones. You won't be missing me in the snow, that's for sure.
Not even the biggest avalanche could hide you. All right, we're ready. And I've got my Insta360 X4. Let's get out there.
This glacier is so vast and so wide, you forget you're even on a glacier. And to have a snowmobile to explore it was just incredible. This is what freedom looks like.
This camera right here is the perfect adventure camera. This camera gives you the ability to get shots of yourself without a tacky selfie stick in shot. We're not in 2016 anymore.
Hey, what happened?
I thought this part of the trip was pretty cool, but it added a lot of distance to the overall itinerary. I'd only add this one if you're really excited about the idea of snowmobiling.
Day 8. Almighty Katla.
So right now we're going all-terrain mode, and we are on our way to Europe's largest and most active volcano, known as Katla. Katla is right in front of us there, and she is 100 times bigger than the volcano that erupted in 2010, and it stopped all air travel in Europe for 2 weeks. Katla is 100 times bigger than that volcano. Why are we going there?
I can't go any faster. The UK, they drive on the left side of the roads. In Iceland, we drive on what's left of the road. 1971, they decided to move the highway closer to the ocean. People are a little afraid to drive this close to Katla. Now I do it twice a day. We're very optimistic people. They have a sand hill there.
This is so cool. So, got our helmets on, our trekking boots, and an awesome guide. He's so funny. He's got jokes and quips for every single thing that we've seen and done.
It is such a crazy feeling. I just love how laid back everyone here in Iceland is about the natural disasters and the possibility. I mean, like, what are you gonna do, right? Just embrace it, go outside and enjoy the nature while you can.
So you might have thought the glaciers would be this beautiful blue, and that's coming, but what you're looking at is a volcanic glacier. All of this black stone around us, a lot of it at least, is actually sand that's built up on top of these massive mounds of ice. Wow! The crater. This is a destination that is on the must list. You just gotta add it. This is so stunning. And if you have one of these, you get a totally different perspective. Absolutely amazed. I thought the tour was over. It's just getting started. Wow, look at this.
What our heroes have witnessed next goes beyond imagination.
And we have made it in a glacier cave that is 900 years old. This is so cool. Like, just touching it is insane.
That's how they clear a lot of it here. Wow.
A real man is a man that can ask a man for a favor.
Okay, you good?
Yeah.
How about?
Gracias, amigo.
All right. And then we'll just turn around and do like an extra tour. Whoa.
I feel the Viking strength.
All right, you're pretty light. This is where I throw you in?
Yeah, we're built different in Canada. Honestly, I gotta give props to these guys. They have been phenomenal. All the tours we've done in Iceland have been so good. I'll have the contacts down in the description if you want to get in touch. All right, the popular spot to go for food is right here. And couldn't come at a better time. I'm starving. So this right here is the famous pizzeria in town, and it's known for the black sand pizza. A pizza so delicious, it inspired the surrounding sands of Iceland. If you're okay with spending $120 for 4 people to have pizza, you're gonna love it.
I love onions on pizzas.
It's so good.
Vik is definitely a center point of the action in Iceland, and so we found ourselves doing another night right next to the famous Seljalandsfoss Foss waterfall.
All guys, it has been a day. This is our cute little humble boat for the night, and right behind it, I don't know if you guys can see, there is the most beautiful waterfall. Like, I feel like I'm in a fairy tale. An amazing end to the day. Gonna go get some sleep because tomorrow we've got some fun stuff planned.
Day 9, conquering Skaftafell.
If there's one discovery I'd like to lay claim to in this video, it is the end of this itinerary, but also this place. This is Faxi Bakery, and it's just 30 minutes outside of Vik. This dreamy coffee shop has fresh baked goods, impeccable vibes. Well, it's not gonna be a bargain, but 120 bucks later, the 4 of us were stoked with a coffee, a sandwich, and a cinnamon bun. Back on the road we go.
Well, I left Chattanooga, boy had $1 and a dime.
Quick little stop here that we had to make on the way. Let me show you why.
See it, you must. And don't forget to subscribe.
A quick goodbye to Yoda Cave and back on the road because we had an hour-and-a-half drive ahead of us.
Hi, Francesco.
All right, guys, we're doing something really fun today. We're going on top of another glacier, but this time it's gonna be a little bit more adventurous because we're gonna need a pickaxe. We're going to Europe's largest glacier called, what is it called?
Skaftafell?
Skaftafell.
How do you say it?
Skaftafell.
Wow, nowhere near.
Fun fact for anyone who watched Game of Thrones, this is where the wall scenes were filmed, and you can see why. They also filmed scenes from Star Wars here and also in Katla. Being in Iceland feels like being in a sci-fi movie.
If this isn't the most Icelandic experience ever, we just pulled over at the restaurant we're eating at, and an unnamed, beautiful waterfall is just right behind it. But after some glacier climbing, you gotta eat some good food, and we heard this place was a must. Let's check it out. This is such an interesting concept. So downstairs, you get a little cocktail, a drink, and you wait for your dinner, and this is modeled off of basically everyone's grandma and grandpa. You know, you got the old pieces.
So apparently, Iceland is huge for their rhubarb. And so this is a rhubarb spritz.
I got a rhubarb mule. I wish all mules were made with rhubarb. That's so good. This is fine dining in a small little cute town. We got lamb, we got some delicious steak tonight.
There's an explosion of flavor in my mouth.
Let's see if we can end it with a perfect meal score.
This is literally one of the best tiramisus I've ever had.
Sorry, if people want to find you, what town do they come to?
Kirkjubæjarklaustur.
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 Just put that in your GPS maps. You'll find us.
Right now, we're here, and we need to go all the way here. This is the greatest distance yet, so we're gonna need to push hard, but I think you'll see why the distance is worth it. Cheer up, Ruby. Starting with this incredible mossy landscape. It's said there's over 600 species of mosses in Iceland. This place
is so full of landscapes I've just never seen in my life, and I've seen a lot of different places. Iceland continues to blow me away.
Our next stop on the east side is this magnificent canyon. Millions of years of water flow and some world-altering flash floods have carved this canyon into one of the most dramatic of landscapes. While I'm not going to dare try pronouncing it, I will say, you gotta see this place.
If that isn't one of the most beautiful views I've ever seen, then I don't know what is. Seriously, the last 30 minutes driving in here, it's just mind-boggling. This has to be one of my top 5 landscapes. You got a nice 15-20 minute walk. You can go explore around it. There's these viewpoints. It's not that busy. It's amazing.
Day 10. Jökulsárlón.
All aboard Jackie, the amphibious boat car? Yaki, my apologies.
I'm so excited. This is one of the main things I wanted to do, coming to Iceland, and we're finally doing it, and I'm so ready. Woo!
Here we go.
Wow!
And just like that, Yaki has taken us to the water. It is so peaceful out here for now. Right now we are sitting next to the giants, and you see an iceberg, but what you don't see is 90% of it, which actually goes beneath the water. And so right now we're here in the hotter times of the year. It's now May, and there's a lot of action going on. Just this morning we passed by a electric blue iceberg, and the reason it's that color is because it just cracked this morning. And so she was telling us that at any moment icebergs can come splitting apart, sounding like thunder. They could come shooting up from the water.
We're saving the glacier. Go, be free, Johnny.
Global warming stopped. Our job here is done. We got it. We got the crack. A little handful of snow just fell off. I'm feeling exhilarated. Let me show you where we're headed.
Now, one of Iceland's most famous spots is right at the mouth of this river, and it's called Diamond Beach. The broken apart icebergs drift here, covering the beach with fragmented ice. It was cool, but we had a lot of distance to get north, and I'm about to show you our biggest Iceland travel discovery. The roads around Iceland are very developed, but it was clear we were leaving the most inhabited areas and heading to the more remote sides as we hit these rough dirt roads. A few hours later, we had arrived in Stuðlagil Canyon.
We might be nearing the end of this itinerary, but we got some unfinished business to do with Iceland. No wetsuit, no dry suit this time. There's one last place we had to see. Well, it was a cool idea. We have no way to get down from here. So you'll just have to think of me as a courageous man that was ready to swim and no longer needs to. I have an excuse. This stop is not for the faint of heart, but it's a beautiful place. What makes it so unique is the curvature of these stones.
I think it was cool, and there was some epic spots surrounding it that we just didn't have time for, but if we stayed any longer, we would have missed our boat. Yes, you heard that right. We've got a boat to catch.
So this itinerary is like nothing I've seen on YouTube. This is where all my research, I hope, pays off for you guys. Our final stop is here to get some food before we get on a boat to bring you to another country. We ordered some fresh fish and chip.
Okay.
And Brintish invited me to bring this pin and to place where I live. So I'm gonna go ahead. I might be the first one. There.
Here is your food here.
Oh, thank you. There you go.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming. Have a great day. Oh, I get your pin.
LA.
Stuðlagil.
Stuðlagil.
Yeah.
Much. We got the lamb. Look at this. Oh my gosh, that looks so good. It's amazing. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, this is the main city in the northeast. And here, you've got a few options. The first is you drive all the way back to Reykjavik in about a 7.5 hour drive by going around the other side of Iceland. By the way, if you add an extra couple hours, Húsavík in the north is where they have some of the best whale watching in Iceland. Option 2, park your car at the Egilsstaðir airport and fly back. Option 3, well, that's the one we chose. And man, did we cut it tight. There ain't no Ubers out here.
So we dropped the car at the airport. I'm not gonna try to say any more names, in Icelandic at least. I underestimated how small the town was. There were 2 taxi men that had put their business cards to a cork board with pins. Luckily, when talking to a few strangers in the airport, one of them offered to drive us, and here we are, racing to catch the ferry. We are going to be going to the Faroe Islands on an overnight boat, and we need to be down there in 4 minutes to board our boat.
Where this trip ends, another begins. And if you want to take this trip on for yourself, you're definitely going to want my map pins. So check the link down below.
And one more step, we begin the transition. Goodbye, Iceland. One of the most beautiful places I've ever been to. We started in Reykjavik and we're making our way out through a totally different exit. And I think this is such a fresh take on how to travel Iceland. And I hope it helps you have the best trip ever, because truly this was one of mine and I see myself coming back here again very soon. If you like this video, I do this all the time, and as you can see, we got another video right ahead bringing you to the Faroes, so it's either going to be linked down below somewhere, but let's get lost again in the next one.
Hey, has anyone seen my puffer? My asthma's acting up a little bit. I'm okay.